why don't we get started, and we'll start with some introductions and then shout outs. And I was thinking that we can sort of do that as we go along. We don't have to like push everything to the end or whatever. And I guess I'll start out with a shout out for Scott Harrell, because I think as a co-host and moderator, he does a fabulous job every week. Kind of big shoes to step into there, but I really appreciate what he does. And as a business coach, he's very effective. He's got that kind of personality that makes people want to work with him. And so I appreciate him giving me a call or asking me to step in, and certainly do my best that way. Why don't we do this? We'll kind of go around, do our 1 minute introductions, and real quickly there, and then in between, say maybe if you give some thought to it when it comes to you, do a shout out. Bob would like to do, who is it that you appreciate, who is it you've worked with, or I've had a really good experience with, and that may be instructive if we got some new people on or joining as well. So we'll start with Leiter. You can tell us what to do, and Daryl, you're going to be up next, okay?
Okay, thank you. My name is Leiter Chen. I'm the founder of Atomic Healing System. Atomic Healing System is a scientific approach to Eastern medicine, effectively manage the chronic condition. This system can find the meridian blockage and imbalance within minutes. This blockage and imbalance with the underlying cause of chronic condition like chronic pain, diabetes, high blood pressure, the chronic low immunity. So we use the combination of the natural therapy like acupressure, cupping, and all the natural therapy to help a client achieve measurable and sustainable health result naturally, safely, effectively, without an invasive operation procedure, without a side effect of chemical pills. We are located in the Southern California, Anaheim area. Right now, we are looking for expansion to the whole United States, business partner of the whole United States.
Confidence, their communication skills, and just generally level up their leadership so they can build pretty cool team and organizational cultures, all without burning out. That's it in a nutshell. I just want to say, Phil, I can't do any shout outs yet. I've not worked with anyone, but Phil, I think you are one of the most positive, upbeat people that I've met. So shout out to you for just being that person.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Just try to keep it on the upbeat for sure. And thank you for sharing that with us. Joseph, you're next. Betty, you're going to be you're at bat. And before I do that, I want to give a big shout out to Joseph. I think I did a couple of weeks ago, but I want to do that again. We don't have a long history and relationship, but Joseph made a great referral. I think it's kind of a classic. I would almost use it as a case study of what I'd like to be doing with clients and people that I work with, where through this group and through our professional connection, we're able to bring a team together and address a particular client's needs. In this case, a commercial realtor, a specialty broker, myself, Joseph is a business coach and advisor, and try to help that client. I just think that's a great model. Anyway, I want to give Joseph Duncan and Assured Consultants a big shout out.
Well, thank you for that, Phil. That is what we do. We specialize in one-on-one advice with entrepreneurs. We provide coaching on a whole variety of areas, including, as we're working in this particular case, succession planning. But we do access to capital, we do marketing, strategic design, we do startup assistance, a whole number of things. I'm a longtime networker. Someone said they've been networking for about 30 years. I'm pretty close to that myself, and really enjoy the way that this group operates. I don't know if it would have been as effective for me when it was in person, although I do greatly enjoy in-person networking, because I couldn't be anywhere at 8 o'clock in the morning once a week. That's just not how I'm built at this stage in my life and career. But this works very well. I appreciate all the people that organize it and keep it going. Look forward to working with more of you as time goes on, both as resources for our clients and potentially a resource for you and your business. My information's in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me. Let's have an offline conversation and figure out what we can do together.
Wonderful.
Pre-COVID, this group used to meet face to face. So it's the old history.
Wonderful. Joseph, thank you for sharing that. And also, as Joseph mentioned there, if you can make sure put your information in the chat for everyone to see, and at the end you'll get a video.
I
of
cannot
the
find you on the LinkedIn, Joseph. LinkedIn. I search, cannot find it.
There's actually a link to my LinkedIn in the chat. Let's make it real simple. If you click on that link, it'll take you right there.
There you go.
Sounds good. Sounds good. And now, Betty Winthrow, tell us about yourself, Betty.
Okay, it's actually Withrow, Phil, but
Withrow.
yeah,
I'm good.
no, it happens all the time. So I'm the Writer's Launchpad. I work with people on various types of content creation, whether it's writing your materials for you, working with you as a book coach, writing your book for you, editing your materials, collaborating with people in different mediums to bring together the presentation that really works for you. I'm excited that I connected with someone who can add sketch videos to presentations, and he's really good. I've seen his work. So I like to get down in the weeds with my clients and do stuff that they don't have the time and energy to do in making their marketing materials really stand out from the crowd. That's what
Very
I'm all
good.
about. Communication is my lifeblood.
Yeah, well said.
Exactly. Well said is right. That sounds great. Roy, why don't you tell us about yourself? And Debbie, you're at bat.
Okay, I want to start out actually with a shout out. Well, it's a double shout out actually. Lighter Chen, I'm shouting out to Lighter Chen for bringing better methods for dealing with chronic pain to the United States. There's all kinds of other things too, but to me, that's one of the most important things. Eastern medicine has so much to offer, and he's being a pioneer to get this stuff over here that works so well and can save us a lot of money too. And also the other side of that is Jacob Bassett, who's working with Lighter to get him funded so he can really take this project nationwide. So that's my shout out. Then as far as what I do, you probably know that I can get you instant leads on demand so you can grow your businesses. But one thing I rarely talk about is the fact that the tool also allows you to know anybody that's actually coming to your website. So you got the name and email address of anybody that's coming there. So if they haven't converted, if they haven't opted in, or they haven't bought anything, you can follow up with them. So that's the other part. And Burke Franklin, who's not here right now, uses that very effectively. So that's what I've got to say, Roy Dickin. And I've got Conversion Alchemy as my product. Oh, and Betty works with me continually. And Linda Blair will be with us on a project shortly.
Nice.
I love it.
So is this
I
a
love it.
team? This is a team.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
What a group!
Roy, I was
What
going
a
to say
group!
that was an outstanding shout out. That was really well done. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Debbie Voris, please tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach, and I do work in the alternative space. So I do help people revitalize their lives and find the root causes of what they need to work on and create a custom natural holistic strategy. And what I love to do is educate people on, what are the possibilities out there. And I have a YouTube channel called Debbie Changes Lives, which you guys heard about. And it would be great if you guys would subscribe to it and just learn about different aspects of alternative health from mind, body, and soul that will help with business, with your body, and your life. And I personally find it really valuable that my Zyto scans and other technology that's very very good to identify things for people. And it even comes up with services lighter, where it's going to tell people they're going to need some services. And I think it came up with some services for my son that was similar to what lighter does. So what I'm saying is I refer people out that way. So contact me regarding that. I want to give some shout outs to Betty Withrow. Because she is a fantastic person. I talked to her quite a bit and asking her for advice, and she is so patient and kind. And we will be working in the future. It's not happening at the moment. Phil, you are so nice. When we contacted you, and I would like to talk with you a little bit more about your business rather than what I was doing. And also, other people. Scott is fantastic. I've used him for healthcare, and he just jumps through the hoops when things don't go well. So if you're ever looking for someone to to get some new healthcare advice, Scott is fantastic for that. And Burke, who's not here, if he's here, he is really down to earth, great one-on-one. I really enjoyed it, and I love to do more one-on-ones with more people. So Joseph, maybe you might be the next person I might talk to. So anyways, just get to know me. That's the whole purpose, and understand what I do. Okay, take care. Have a fabulous weekend.
Abby, thank you so much. Great shout outs. Really nice. Chris Troche and Steve Remmel, you're up next. Go ahead, Chris. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Yes, I'm a newbie here, and I'm a little surprised I just got called on, but here it goes. My name is Christian Troche. I'm a high performance coach, and high performance is defined as high performance living is the ongoing of full engagement, joy, confidence that comes from consistently living from your best self. So most of us have challenges and struggles day in, day out, and how do you deal with those? So that's what I do as a coach. I help you to navigate the challenges that you have and the problems, hurdles, roadblocks, whatever you want to call them, with more confidence, with more courage, with more missing a word here. Anyway, I'm helping people to figure out how to move forward better, faster, and easier.
Chris, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's great to have you with us here this morning. Where are you located?
I'm located in Big Bear Lake, northeast of Los Angeles.
Oh, nice.
In Southern California.
Love that area.
Yeah. And I've been a high performance coach for a decade, and I help people. I help professional athletes as well with their mindset and their mental performance, so to speak. And I will post all my information on the bottom, and I'm delighted to be here. And I actually appreciate Scott inviting me to this. I'm a network newbie, so if there's any questions, feel free to contact me. And I'll pass it on to the next person.
Well, great to have you here this morning. Very good. Great to have you here this morning. Thank you so much.
Make sure you put your information in the chat.
Yes.
Very good. So Steve Remmel, you're up, and Jacob, you're at bat there.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm Steve Remmel. I'm a former HR professional who finally got myself extracted from corporate America. And for the last 10 years, I've been working with business owners of all types, offering Legal Shield and ID Shield, primarily as employee benefits for their employees. And it's been wonderful working all across the country, but I'm committed to getting out of my house and working more in California and locally. And so I want to give a shout out to Russell Lucado. I don't think he's here, but he and I met last week. It was my first meeting last week. And, right away I saw synergy, right? He just has the HR consulting for small businesses. So we had a great one-to-one earlier this week, and we found lots of ways that he and I can do business together and refer business and work together. So shout out to Russell for all that he's doing and understanding and appreciating what Legal Shield and ID Shield can do to round out a benefits package and help a business to attract and retain talent. So thanks to Russell, and looking forward to being here more regularly.
Do you people
Sound-
remember
yeah.
Kurt Jaffe?
Kurt
Yeah,
Jaffe?
I remember. Yes.
Okay, Kirk, I talked to him. He's like a best friend. I talked to him just a couple days ago, and as a result, we created an introduction to Kirk to Russell.
Very good. Both great professionals. And yeah, I've had following up on what Steve said, I think working with Russell Lukadu is a pleasure. He's a consummate professional. Had some great interactions with him, some referrals that have actually turned into some business and accounts. And when it comes to HR and people, wonderful guy. So
Yep.
really appreciate that. And I know he does. He appreciates that shout out on your part there, Steve. Thanks so much.
And Russell is really a great guy to talk to. I really enjoyed my one-on-one with him as well.
Now, I always learn something from Russell. It's like whenever you have a conversation, I always find that I always get some information, something that I didn't know, which I really enjoy. You know, he's very, very knowledgeable guy
And he makes,
about as
yeah, he makes sure he connects with you. He really does. He goes, oh, he looks at your background and tries to come up with something to connect with you personally. So I really love that. Does he do that with you too?
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I experienced that in my one-on-one with him too. Yeah, if you're going to help small business owners, there's a lot you need to know. I mean, our society is so litigious, and there's so many nuances, and he really keeps up.
Very good.
One person
Jacob, want to hear about how we can get quick and very efficient financing. Fill us in, and Linda Blair, you're up next.
Absolutely, yes. So I am a loan consultant, as has been mentioned. Roy kind of, snuck in there, stole my shout out. I was going to give him one as well, and to Lighter. It's great to, also not only just have contacts pop in that we can, synergize and do work with, but I've been in this group for, I think it's about 2 years. And we're now, Lighter is a potential client. He's just got pre-qualified, and we're going to see, if our programs are fit for the capital he's looking for, as well as just the time frame and, the whole process. That way we can reach his goals come to the end for his products. But we are partnered with major banks and credit unions. We offer an alternative route for working capital financing to business owners, real estate investors, as well as individuals alike. I look forward to connecting with more of you. I think I've spoken with a lot of people since I've been here quite some time, but looking forward to connecting with more of you. Thanks.
I think if I can, I think Jacob, I think you're a great example of one of the group members, the team members here, where just you started and you just continuity and consistency. Like you've been here, you've gotten where over time it's sort of one of those things where if you jump in some of these networking groups and you just have one or two meetings or one or two times, it's hard to make that connection and build the relationships that lead to the referrals and business. You're a great example of just, you came in here, you sort of stuck with it, and now I feel like you've gotten to really know the key members of the group, and that's gotten some good results for you. And I'm sure it'll continue to do the same. But anyway, that's a shout out for you, buddy. I think you're doing great. Linda Blair, you're up next, and Carlos Garcia, you're at bat.
Hi, everybody. Linda from Orange County, California. My background is in internet marketing, and I'm also a Google certified partner. I have an all-in-one AI CRM software tool called Thrive Business Center. And so what a CRM system is like a digital hub for managing all your customer interactions. And so what we do is, if you get a referral from our group, from Mycity, or if you're working with Roy, or even Betty, we'll help you stay connected to all these connections through email and text marketing. So it's kind of like a drip or funnel campaign. So they go out automatically, or 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And what it does is it helps improve your client lead engagement and building your brand and actually driving new sales to you. So along with that, the technology also integrates and consolidates all your social media platforms. So if you're spending 5 to 6 hours a week, this will save you those hours. So we connect your LinkedIn, your Twitter, your TikTok, your Google My Business profile, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, YouTube, all those platforms into one. So when you go to do a post or a reel or a story, it goes out to everybody at once. And we have AI functions so that if you have trouble coming up with a little bit of content, it'll help you out with that. We also update your website to a Google sanctioned site so that you get better optimization on the Google searches. We will list you on 60 different directory sites. It's called your citation sites. Seamless interaction, even invoicing estimates. So it's putting together like 500 features all into one platform. And we include 24/7 hands-on live support. So if you need any help with that, if you know a referral, that would be great. And just want to give a shout out to Scott Harrell and Phil and Kevin and Steve. These are some of the clients that I have ongoing and gotten great referrals from. Shout out to Lighter. I've gone into his facility, and you know, technology and science is really cool when he hooks you up and you can actually see, you know, on a computer where you've got blockages and things like that going on. And he really helps out with that. So been a great referrals that in with this group.
Well, and I just like to say amen to that, all of that, and that also the back office support, the onboarding and back office support so far has been excellent. I give it a 5-star. Really, you know, great. And when you have a question, when you need help with Thrive, you know, exceptional service. So thank you so much, Linda. Very good. So Carlos, you're up, buddy. Go ahead. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Still on mute.
There you
Here
go.
This
Yeah.
worked. I want to apologize to everyone for joining a few minutes late. Thank you, Phil and Bob. My name is Carlos Garcia, new to this group, second meeting actually. I'm fascinated by how many coaches there are on today's call. I happen to be an executive coach myself, focused on career transitions and leadership style. So somewhere in between where the prior coaches have positioned their services. My website is coachinggravitas.com. I put it in the chat. And I came to career transition coaching and leadership development after 20 years in retained executive search. I was both at Korn Ferry and at Heidrick and Struggles. The most recent 10 years was at Heidrick. I had the privilege of leading the Los Angeles office. I led the supply chain and operations officers practice globally. That's where my prior 20 years in work happened to have been, in manufacturing operations, global supply chain. 40 years working overall, 65 years on the planet, and I use the Hudson Coaching Institute methodology, which blends the process discipline of an ICF credentialed methodology together with the we call it self as coach. And so really, as Daryl was describing how he facilitates people's growth, and Chris also, I believe, was describing, really, as coaches, we use our own experience to support the reflective analysis that sometimes very accomplished leaders face. And so it's a matter of unblocking them, unfreezing them, changing their internal dialogue, and enabling growth. So happy to help. My particular niche happens to be with career transitions because I bring to bear these 20 years in executive search. So I can sometimes help as strategically as networking across the global landscape of headhunters, to as tactically as helping rewrite a bio or a resume to truly convey who a person is above and beyond what a person does. So happy to be
Great,
joining.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Carlos. Got 2 quick questions. One is, where are you located? And the second is, do you work with business brokers, or have you worked in the past with business brokers?
I've not worked with business brokers. I'm based in Calabasas. I will eventually serve companies. I just launched my LLC. So right now I'm focused on executives individually. Eventually I'll be providing services to employers, large and small, helping teams. But right now I'm focused on individuals. Forgive me, Phil, did you mean something else by the question about business brokers?
No. Just I thought that may be a good base for us, maybe to connect, talk, and see how we can leverage our networks and expertise there. So my information is in the chat there, but I was just wondering whether you do work with, because it's a natural fit. So thank you so much for sharing your services there and a little bit about yourself. Cheryl McBride, you're up. And our travel maven, Edward, is following. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's so fun. I have had time with Debbie and what's her name? Betty. Betty, I keep referring people to Betty because she's got that talent. She's got that help for the writers and word creators and stuff. And yes, just definitely Alex is a great guy. I just wrote down Steve Remmel's name because somebody was looking for some HR rep stuff information. So I love this group because there's just so many talents and skills that we can share with everybody else. And I teach financial literacy, and I am out of Mesa, Arizona, and I am here for you if you have somebody that would like to know a little more about how money works. And we work with families and businesses and teach all kinds of groups. So thank you so much.
And
well, we all need to know how money works, and more importantly, how to hold on to it after we make it.
And may I just thank Cheryl for the recent referrals that she gave me, Alex Hint, because I put it in the chat, but I didn't say that verbally. So thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome, Debbie.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Cheryl. Edward, what's the latest in the world of cruise and travel?
Well, I'm in mourning today because one of my favorite places, World of Beer, just declared bankruptcy. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
Very sad.
Yeah. Ed Cicinnato, I'm the franchise owner of Edward Cicinnato and Associates Dream Vacations. And what's up in travel today? Well, this, of course, is August is our slowest month, of course, but we've got a lot of things. We got a lot of things going on. This August is luxury month. If you've never considered a luxury cruise line, you probably should take a look at it with me, because we've got a lot of exclusive deals with Seabourn, Viking, Oceania, Silver Seas, and Regent. And you'd be surprised at the prices that we're getting, because we're the largest retail travel agency in the country. So these companies will come to us with offers that they don't give anybody else. And people think they can't afford a luxury cruise line. That's not really true. It's not really true at all. We've got some opaque pricing with many of them. We also have opaque pricing, which means it's only available to us, with Holland America, Princess, Celebrity, Azamara, which many of you haven't probably heard of because it's a very small cruise line. And I would love to work there. Let us take the pain out of planning your travel. That's my new slogan.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We need to book. And I also remember last time you were saying that you can do group, or you have special programs for doing group charity events. Also,
fundraising cruises.
The fundraising events. Wonderful.
I've been doing many presentations on that the last 2 weeks, by the way.
Well, it stuck because I remembered it there. There you
There you
go.
go.
There's some feedback for you. So we got emotion math, neuroentrained sciences. Moshe, I don't see your, yeah, there you are. Okay, go ahead. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'll be brief. My name is Moshe Math. I am a partner in a company called Neuroentrained Sciences. Our system uses sound, light, and vibration, taking your mind and body through your voyage into relaxation through what they call brainwave entrainment. It looks similar to the massage chairs at the airport. We're offering what they call a sonic massage. The best way to describe it is the fact that when your computer freezes, you turn it off and on again to reboot. And we're doing the same thing with your brain. And where that helps, there's an echo. Where that helps also is in productivity for employees. So people who do detailed work, whether it be people who code, people who are paralegals, people who are lawyers, etc., who are doing detailed work, this allows them to take a break, not just to leave the room and feel better, but actually clear their mind and start again and go back to work they did earlier and review their own work and or take on some more sophisticated project later on. So it allows executives to be more productive. It allows those dealing with detailed work to be more productive as well. So it's something we have 3 different business models, and one of them is for companies that want to have them in for their employees to use on their own time. Let me be clear, but and we're talking about shout outs today, so I want to mention to both Scott, who's not here, shout out thanking him because he tried it. I hope to be in California in the future, or others can try it as well. And Ed and I are very close. In fact, we're looking at some projects together in the future. And Jacob and I have also discussed some, and he's just a pleasure. And I look forward to doing more work with more of you in the future directly. Thank you.
That sounds great. Thanks so much for sharing. I have a quick question, which is when people are they become more productive, how do you measure some of that? Do you measure that in terms of like, for example, total output of revenue, or how much time it takes people to do a particular project? How do you measure those results just in general?
I measured, first of all, we haven't done a study, so let me be clear, but I've seen, because what I used to do before COVID is I used to go back to my college and put students, faculty, and staff on gratis during the last full week of classes, which is when everything is stressed out and so forth. So when students can come back and say they can now go back to work and they feel so much better, that in itself is one thing, but I've seen it in terms of and by the way, expediency does not always define productivity. Accuracy does. So I really don't want to say that someone could do things faster as opposed to doing things more accurately. And if they can review work they did earlier and find their mistakes, what's that worth? So I want to be clear in the way I'm expressing it in terms of the measurements for productivity.
They can be more efficient. But may I ask you a question?
Sure.
For somebody one of my clients, one of the services came up as Clarity Chair.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear all what you just said.
Okay, one of my clients, one of the services came up as Clarity Chair. And what this is the participant is in a dark room and the chair gently moves, and they watch a series of colored animation and computer screens and listening to music with different specific frequencies. Is that what you do?
Similar, but we don't put things up. People will see things because they visualize it. Much like if you're in school and you go into a daze, you may see things because you've imagined it. We don't lead you that way, although it's capable to do it. One of the areas we looked at was working with athletes and using it as part of sports psychology, where they could put subliminal messages inside, or working with hypnotherapists, which we do have the potential to do. So, but we do not guide them at all. It is you guiding yourself, but you are using lights. It's LED lights working with the optic nerve of the brain. And so forth, and there's no movement on the system.
Okay.
We do have them in zero gravity, and by doing that, the system is more effective, especially the way our system's set up with the sound session for the vibration, because the vibration is equal throughout the body. It's not just focused in a certain area, so they get more of it all over, which creates more relief, which allows them to be able to absorb more in the process.
I know a hypnotist in New York.
That's fun. If they want to contact me, they're welcome to. Again, we're not. All I'm saying to you is the fact that our system allows for all that as part of a sound session, a tailor-made sound session, as opposed to what's done generally.
Yeah, but this says it works interaction between the brain and the senses. So it sounds very
Right.
similar.
Yeah, it does it through what they call the autonomic nervous system. That's the
Mhm.
way it effectively goes through the body and so forth. Again, we don't guide them at all. It's the way we have it written. Other people have, there are different music that all fall in the same classification. And you can use, there's different effects that fall into the same category. There's overlap of what we do with what they're doing. So if you can get a better idea of what we do based on what your friend's doing. There are
Could you-
similarities and there's some differences.
So maybe in a student exercise area or like a gym, like a student center would be a good
For
place.
me, I gotta tell you, I would like to do more work with, if now I'm getting out more with human resource to do more health fairs where we put people on, but I also want to get more in companies where you have people who do high stress work or high tedious work because we can help them we can help them be more effective at their job.
What I was trying to say is with the student centers, they have a gym and things like the university here in Tucson, Arizona. I'm actually in Tucson today. And I don't know, maybe seeing if
I can tell you in terms of athletic recovery, this helps. This helps
Yeah.
expedite things.
So what I'm trying to get at is these might be good places for you to target in different universities.
You're right. And it's just been a problem. All you need is one. And then you have to follow the leader mentality. It's just getting one to be willing to do something like that. And it's that way with a lot of things. You need one to be a trailblazer.
But it's also, does it help with mental health? I think that you got to look
Oh,
at
yeah.
the mental health.
We
aspect, too.
we had one of our systems over at Covenant House, Atlantic City, which is New Jersey, for those who don't know. I know Betty does, but most people don't. But we had a Covenant House, and it was actually used before a psychological session. And I say this could be helpful for that, and as well as for matrimonial law, because the sessions then become more substantive and less emotional because they're already in a better state of mind. So there's no question. I want to get involved with research, and I'm sorry, I'm going to get off because there are other people, but we want to get involved with studies because we do believe we can help. We can't solve problems when people have drug problems, but we can bring their stress levels back enough that they may not act destructively to deal with the problem that they're experiencing.
Could you give a demonstration in one of our meetings, like a Zoom meeting, of how your system works?
No, because it's like trying to describe the thrill of a roller coaster ride to someone who's never been on it before. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it's really a problem to do that.
Well, it's really a fascinating work and subject matter for me. I mean, it's something I'd like to learn more about. But Moshe, thank you and Debbie, thank you very much for those questions and insight. It's just something fascinating to me. Someone wasn't even aware of a lot of these services. Thank you. Eileen Dawson, you're up, and Burke Franklin is going to tell us what we can do to plan for the future here. Is at bat.
Good
Is
morning.
it me? Good, go ahead.
Good morning.
Go
I'm
ahead,
Eileen
Eileen.
Dawson. And I just, so I remember, I just want to thank everybody that is a veteran. My daughter went into the Air Force this week, and I had no idea, really what was involved. And as from a mother's perspective, how painful it is to let her go, but to know that she's doing good work. So thank you to all of you. And I live in Massachusetts. I'm a Ramsey Money coach, and I work with individuals and couples, and I do some group presentations for colleges and high schools, that type of thing. And the majority of my work and teaching is in the debt space. So a lot of people have credit card debt and that type of thing. So I educate people, we set up budgets, we get all that, kind of stuff going, and then we start tackling those debts. That's the majority of where I spend. Sometimes I have people that are, want to pay some student loans off, or they want to start saving, and then I can pass them to a financial advisor, for more of that stuff. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
For the
Thank you.
that are listening,
Go ahead.
I run a veterans group an hour after the meeting this morning. So I'm a veteran, and it's always interesting. My daughter worked for the VA for like a year. She said it was one of the hardest jobs she ever had in her entire life because of the amount of suicide amongst veterans. So if you know any veterans, I'm always looking at growing this group.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you for sharing, Eileen. Great to see you here this morning. And Burke, Burke Franklin, you're up. Go ahead. Tell us
Good
about
morning.
Business Power Tools.
Good morning, everybody. Burke Franklin, businesspowertools.com up in Santa Barbara, California. This is an online dashboard full of done for you, I'll call them templates. They're Word documents, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint templates. And it's all stuff that's written for you, so you don't have to figure out what to say or how to say. You can put it up in my little thing here. But anyway, the main product is for writing a business plan. The SBA did a study of businesses, that 26,000 businesses that failed, and found that 65% of them had no business plan. So if you're going to loan money to somebody, I think you'd want them to have a business plan or invest in them. Most of the people used our business plan because they're raising capital. And it's not just for startups. I'm working with a $10 million tiny home, or our tiny home company now, who's raising $10 million. So it could be mid-market companies, anywhere probably from startup. Exactly to say. Investors want to know what you know, and they know probably more about your business than you do, but they want to know how you look at it. They want to know how you handle the risks and how you handle the money. And so it's important to get this right. And Business Power Tools has got to do it online. I can help you do it. You guys could offer it as a side venture, if you will, and guide, coach clients through it. It's kind of a cool way to do things. So take a look at businesspowertools.com, watch the video, and certainly give me a holler. I'll give you a tour of it. Thank you.
Fabulous expertise and resource. Business Power Tools and Burke. Great to see you, Burke.
You get 2 clients yourself using it.
I do, and I'm absolutely always keeping you and Business Power Tools in mind. You know, great resource. So, Corey Northington, how are you doing this morning? You're right, buddy. Tell us what you do.
First, thank you. Happy Friday morning to everybody, and I hope everybody's doing well and their businesses are thriving. And my name is Corey Northington. And like Steve, I'm an independent associate of Legal and ID Shield. So I help individuals, families, and small businesses with legal and identity theft needs. So, and before I just keep going, I just wanted to shout out like Bob. So he is so amazing and everything, just to open up this group every week, and also just to give us a platform to really spotlight our businesses too. So I wanted to say thank you so much for that, and also for the video, because still to this day, like I'm getting a lot of traction on LinkedIn. So ranging from people who already got the services to not interested, but it is like circulating them and everything else. So I do get a few that say they want to know more information about it. So just want to say thank you for that. And then
I'm ready for more videos, by the way, gang.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to do another video for people. So just holler at me and we'll figure out what we're going to talk about and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's, they say most people will size somebody up in the first 15 to 30 seconds in a video. So it's not a place you want to be. It's a place you have to be. Do a video. Get your name out there.
Yeah, it's been a while. I have to do that again, but the videos really work well. I mean, you do a short video with Bob and talk about, you know, what you do and post that on LinkedIn, and I get, you know, you get a lot of impressions. It absolutely works. So if you haven't done that, get a hold of Bob and do a personal video on your business there for sure. Corey, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm Phil Wolfstein. I'm a certified business broker with Zoom Business Brokers. And what I do is I help business owners find qualified buyers for their business. And one of the things I just wanted to share is that one of the things you can do if you are a business owner or seller that's thinking about selling your business is to get pre-qualified with a lender for an SBA 7A loan. If you're going to, you know, this is one of the ways it brings credibility to your business. It also helps to point out some of the things that you might want to look at in terms of your financials, keeping your books and records or your business when you go to a lender and want to get pre-qualified for a loan. And on the flip side of that is for any buyer, any serious buyer that's looking to buy a business, pays to get pre-qualified as well. That's based on their credit rating, on their experience. So on both sides as a business broker, if I've got a pre-qualified buyer and a pre-qualified that might be helpful to know about buying and selling. Most people that do sell have no experience. They're great at running their business. They know what they're doing, but they haven't bought and sold businesses. And it's a process, not an event. So you really need to have professionals working with you, advising you, guiding you through that in order to get to a successful outcome. Only 1 in 5 listed businesses actually sells and closes escrow. We hope to improve those numbers as time goes by. And now for our fearless leader, Bob Friedenthal, who is the one who actually has put this group together here. Bob, tell us about yourself and some of your new initiatives.
Well, thank you. I manage LinkedIn accounts. I have a staff of people that do all the work. But the fun of all this stuff is meeting people and referring people. So in fact, I have a referral for Russell Lookadoo to another old client of mine for centuries. So it's, look, if you don't get your name out there, you're not going to be found. And I think that's the key to it. What I was kind of hoping today is that we could do some shout outs, maybe just a few, because we only got about 8 minutes left, of other people. And if you can do like a 1-minute recording, I'd love to have that happen. And then Mycity, who runs my social media team, he'll record it, and then we can send it to the people in the group as well. So it's just about getting your name out there, right? Isn't that the key? And if you want to do
Absolutely.
a couple now, I think that would be ideal. Anybody want to do one? A shout out? Boy, everybody jumped in there.
I
Well,
can,
no
Bob.
one's, if no one, yeah, if no one step up, I want to do a shout out for Burke Franklin. We've done this before, but I'd be happy to do that. Anybody else want to go? We've got enough time. We can do a couple. Anybody have, if you so, raise your hand. Corey's raising his hand. Okay, go
I
ahead.
want to give a shout out to Eileen Dawson. Like I talked to her a few weeks ago. She was absolutely amazing, very kind, very generous, and everything else, and willing to share her resources and everything else too. So I just wanted to give Ms. Dawson a shout out. So too.
Okay, very good.
I'll
Appreciate
give
that.
one. I'll give one.
Go ahead, Debbie.
I'll give a shout out to Betty Withrow. She is a great person if you want to help write a book, do copy for your newsletter, or even, do an email series. She's personable, she gets to know you, and she is so down to earth and so easy to work with. So if you're looking for a copywriter, looking for an editor, or, you just want some advice regarding, what to do, she's a perfect person to reach out to.
Nice.
Excellent.
Very nice.
I'd like to give a shout out to Lighter Chin. I already did this once, but Bob seems to want to have us break it apart from everything else. So Lighter has developed technology that is incredible for the West. Our medical system is get us hooked on things that we can be hooked on for the rest of our life. So whatever we've got, if we've got back pain, they want us to keep taking pills forever. If we've got diabetes, they want us to keep taking pills or injections for the rest of our lives. Lighter has a method where you can solve these problems, and they're solved. You don't have to keep doing it for the rest of your life. He's got a clinic that's proving this technology for the first time, and he's going to build clinics across the whole country that are going to do this. It's just an unbelievable project that he's going to do. And he's just a brilliant man.
Nice.
Nice.
That was a great testimonial. Actually, I hadn't even thought about it that way. So thanks for sharing that, Roy. It sounds very interesting. Have to check out your website there later.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty darn amazing, Phil. It really is. I'm excited about working with Lighter. I'm inspired, like deeply inspired. So yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I pile on with Roy.
Well, I think you're the star of today's shout outs here, Lighter. That's great. So very good. Very good. So, all right, I've got a few more minutes here, but I want to give a big shout out to Burke Franklin Business Power Tools. Really is a great resource. And I want to give an example of how I've been able to use that with I've got some young millennial professionals that these are, highly educated, very sharp young men that are working for large enterprises, large corporations that want to be entrepreneurs. They want to reach out and they want to be their own bosses or start a business. No clue at all. They may be able to tell you about the cutting edge of scientific development and very advanced topics, but when it comes to setting up a business, running a business, understanding what that entails, absolutely clueless, have no idea where to start. And what they're used to is they have an idea, they have a concept, they've got this a thought, and in their world, when they have a great idea, that's valuable. If it's patentable and they can take that in a large corporation, if you're working in a Microsoft or Yahoo or any large company, if you have a great idea and a great concept, that in and of itself has great value. And then it goes to a department, it goes to people and professionals that can develop it and market it and package it and promote it. They don't have any concept of any of that. The value is in the idea. So they have this great idea and a concept, and a bunch of them will get around and they'll convince themselves that they can make $1 million, and they're all willing to put their hard-earned money up and go start a company, whatever that means, and put money into it. And then somehow it's all going to get taken care of because there's going to be departments and people and professionals that are going to advance that and execute on it. And of course, there's absolutely nothing there. It's a vacuum. There is no support. So connecting them, what I found is that by taking some of these young entrepreneurs without killing their spirit, and you want to encourage them, be your own boss, be an entrepreneur, take a risk, learn how to do business. But you got to start with Business 101 and really making that referral to Business Power Tools and Burke, and he's got a great way of communicating what that brings to him. Is it's able to give a structure to some of these young men and women. I think it's saved them tens of thousands of dollars, maybe more so far, because when they understand what a business plan is and what it actually takes to put a framework around that idea and build it out, and the cost and the time and the energy, not the least of which is how much time do you have to actually devote to this business idea and concept. It causes them to stop and think first. So what's the order of action, right? Is draw, aim, and then shoot, right? It isn't, it isn't draw, shoot, and then we'll aim later, and everybody loses money and damages friendship. So I found that it's a great, when you find people that don't really know what they're doing, they're stumbling in the dark. And this could be somebody already in business that doesn't really have a plan or direction. This is a way to help them get direction, save a lot of money, and then connect with professionals, because obviously we're all networked, and Burke is a great referral source too. So that's what I have to say about that. And I think we got about 30 seconds left. So
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that.
My expression is get things done. What tends to happen is you talk about it, and then don't accomplish anything. So, if you think at the beginning of the day, I'm going to get something done, do it. It's that simple.
Yep. It
So
starts with the thought, finishes with the action.
There you go.
You got it. Well, listen, great meeting and exchange, everyone. It's really a privilege just to be able to co-host. Bob, thank you very much. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend,
Will do.
Take care.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye all.